And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Knights of the Realm has this very exciting sound to it. A game where you go and it says Knights of the Realm, The Last Dragon. It's made by Funmaker Games. They did Mimic, which is an excellent game, a themeless excellent game, but an excellent one nonetheless. This game is basically a card game in which players are going to use different knights to attack different colored dragons, and using sets of cards to get resources so that they can fight the dragons. It's a very good game, but it's more about being a card game than it is any kind of thematic experience. I'm not sure that I left this feeling like I fought dragons, but more like I played cards correctly, and then of course roll the die at the proper time. Here's the initial setup. We see 4 dragons in the middle of the table that are set up from our pile of dragons, some land. Each player starts with a knight in front of them, and that knight has a certain symbol on his shield. You can see that different knights have different symbols, and they're protecting a town here in front of them. Players also each get some gold coins to start with. These gold coins are nice, lightweight plastic coins. I've got a lot of compliments on these. Everyone who's seen or played the game has really enjoyed using these. And so the player also gets a handful of land cards. Here you can see a green woods card, a red mountain card, and then just a wild card, which counts as anything. And at the beginning of a turn, the player rolls a black six-sided die. It's a normal die, except instead of a 1, there is a picture of a dragon. If you roll a dragon, you lose a card from your hand. Also, anybody who has collected 10 or more gold coins must lose all of them that go beyond 10. So the most you're going to ever have is 10. You can try and save more than that, but you got to be careful. Then a player will draw 2 cards from this pile, place them in front of them, and other players can offer them to trade these cards. They can offer them cards from their own hand, they can offer them money, combination, what have you. Regardless of whether the player trades or not, eventually he'll have some cards probably, and he'll add them to his hand. And then players will be able to do different actions. One of the actions that they can do is they can build things with their money. Now, you have a village. You can build a village wall by flipping it over. Or, eventually, after you build the village wall, you can add a tower keep to it. Or upgrade that tower to 2 towers. Or finally, upgrade that to a castle. And you want to have these castles because not only are they worth points, but they allow your knights to go out. And to do all these, you need to pay money, 5 gold each time you upgrade that. And each time you build a new village, you can build multiple villages and add more knights in front of you. Multiple knights are useful because you can use them to attack different dragons. You can also collect tribute. If you have 3 cards that are the same type but are different colors, for example, these are all forests, red, yellow, and green, different colors, you can trade these in to get money. You trade in those and you'll get 2 gold. However, if you trade in 3 that are the same land type and the same color, see here's 3 mountains in all blue, then you'll get 5 gold. But really, that's just basically the base tribute. You will also get money, for example, on how many of the symbols on the cards you play match the symbol on any knights in front of you. So if you play your cards correctly and try to get ones that match the knights that you have in front of you, you will get more points. And also the castle cards will act as multipliers. You can the completed castle will multiply your tribute times 3. So there's a chance to get a lot of tribute depending on your situation in front of you. And it's one of those games that as you get better and better, you'll get more and more money. Now, the biggest thing about this game, of course, is fighting the dragons. And when you do so, you have to have at least a walled village to do so. But other than that, you're not going to have much advantage, and the dragon is going to have an advantage on you. So basically, you want to have 2 towers to fight the dragon. If you have a castle, you can no longer fight the dragons, but your knight can go out in support of other knights. Fighting dragons is a pretty simple process where you're rolling dice and just trying to get even numbers, because those count as hits. Odd numbers count as nothing. If you eventually beat a dragon, you'll take the dragon card and keep it. You can use that dragon card to steal cards from other players on their turn. Basically, it's like a dragon land power. But at the end of the game, and the game is ended when the final dragon has been defeated, and there's a pile of dragons in the game, and once they're all defeated, players are going to get points. Each tower they have built is worth 1 point. Double towers are worth 2 points, castles are 3, and each dragon is 1 point. However, If you have two different colored dragons and a castle together, that's another bonus point. And if you have two of the same dragon and a castle together, then that's 2 bonus points. And whoever has the most castles finally gets an extra bonus point. The person with the most points is the winner. If there's a tie, then we go to money, the ultimate tiebreaker. Like I said, the fighting itself is not any great shakes of a stick. You're rolling dice, trying to get a bunch of evens, and adding benefits and bonuses. It's more, I think, about the manipulating of money and knowing what to trade and when. Each land card is very different because they have a different type of land, they have a different color, and then there's a different symbol on them. And when you trade someone else, you have to look and see what they have in front of them and try and gauge how much that's worth to them and how much gold they may get from that in the future. And so how much gold you can offer them or how many cards. The trading here is very similar to that maybe in Settlers of Catan. It has a slightly different feel to it, but it's really the heart of this game. The fighting dragons and knowing when to build and stuff, that's a little bit more on automatic. It's more like building up your resources from it. So I would say that this is a resource game. There's certainly a lot of luck in what cards you draw, but even if you draw poorly, you can give the cards to other people. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is if you roll the dragon symbol, it hurts you and no one else. I mean, it hurts people if they have more than 10 coins. I'm not a real big fan of that, especially if you get hit early. It seems like it can be a little bit too much of a pain. But the artwork is very well done. It fits in a very small box. And overall, it's a very nice little presentation. If you like games that involve trading and negotiation, this is one you should check out, Knights of the Realm.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.